morning, this is Kai, as promised. A full build with basic tools that you should have around, a couple of screwdrivers, and hopefully you've got one of these windy tools because we need to use the cutter. That's a Temu tool, they were about £1.30, something like that, very expensive. I won't be using power drills or anything like that, I'm just literally putting it all together. As promised. Now let's open the box and get its bits out, see what we've got. I've had comments on some of my previous posts about playing the guitar. The problem I have is I have gout in my hands, so I struggle to play unless my hands are really hot, and that's why I don't play, because I'm very limited on movement nowadays. That's just gone in bin if you wondered. So we've now got everything out and ready. As you can see, my workshop's not fantastic, it's pretty basic, which is perfectly okay. I just have masses amount of room. And we'll start with, I'm going to chuck tuners on. I'm going to put the neck on, and I'm going to get my levelling tool to actually see what it's actually like. Where are the ferrules? Here we go, ferrules. Like a bit. Left one screw behind. There we go. Now, theoretically, you don't even have to line these up because they're pre-drilled holes. So that'll make it easier for you. So it's just a case of dropping them in and banging screws in. Now, these are very small screws, so given the fact I have problems with my fingers, they're not easy to get hold of, but we can get there. Try not to slip because you may have dent in your head. That's your first one in. As I said, it's pretty much simple out there for putting together because your screw holes are all there, you've got all your screws, all your kits here, so it's just a case of literally screwing it together. It's really easy. Which is when you can get hold of the screws. You don't have to go mental at screwing them up tight, there's no need. And normally, if we're doing these on a bare headstock, I'd use my ruler to make sure they're all nice and straight. I'm assuming, because this is pre-drilled, that somebody else has already done that for me. We'll find out. One. I apologise for the noise in the background, that's my diesel heater trying to warm this place up a bit because at the moment it's quite windy and cold out. See, that's the back side, already screwed in, a few minutes literally. Check your washers aren't handed, because sometimes they're flat on bottom and curved on the top, which these are. So just put the curved side to the top, drop them all on, slot on your ferrule. Oh, we could put string trees on while we're at it. Make sure the threading in well though. I'm doing this quickly because it's a video. You can take yourself a lot more time over this, but I just feel that way. I just get on with it. So I'm more looking forward to altering it and modifying it. I normally get a spanner to do this. It's a little bit tighter than others. What I'm going to do here is get a pair of pliers. Oh, what if I could find them? Okay, can't find the pliers. I'm just wondering whether we could cheat and use the end of the... Nope. So I would suggest you use a pair of pliers, or preferably a spanner, to screw them down. I don't know what I've done with mine at the moment. As you can see, this workshop's not exactly fantastic. Sweet coffee. I do have my amp switched on over there for making a noise, which is why I'm hoping my hands warm up. You've got a little collar to put underneath your string tree, along with another little screw. Yet again, pre-drilled holes, you can't go wrong. One string tree. Oh, fiddler. Second string tree. Literally as easy as that. If you find that these are wobbly and loose, I've got one there, you can get your screwdriver and just get the correct screwdriver and just nip it slightly, and that'll solve that problem. Also make it feel a bit better. So that's that side of things done. I'll swap this over, and I think I'm going to start with the input jack. Feed it through the hole. Okay, that bit's fiddly. See a bag with 2 screws in, that's that one. I can never get bags open, that's due to poor fingers. Line it up with the holes. Now, I don't tighten that screw down if you have it's a little bit loose until I've got the other screw in. Just in case they don't quite line, but it's actually a good line on that. One jack plug fitted. Switch pick guard in next. Pick guard in next. Right. I'm looking for a hole for that. Straight through the centre. So theoretically that should just shake your hand. feed that through that hole. Yep, perfect. Nearly. Through the hole out the back. Out the back. Plug two plugs together. Like that. Now just make sure you don't, none of your wires are going to trap when you're putting it in. Oh, here we go. That does not sit right. Okay, that's the wiring in the middle. Yeah, that's okay. See another wire there. As I say, these are just building it as it comes. Putting pickguard on first because this neck has a very slight overhang, so it goes over the top of the pickguard, so it saves feeding it in and risking scratching body. Because as I said before, the body is finished beautifully. One hole there. Just about to say the holes don't line up properly, but they do. Yet again, perfect lined holes. Get rid of rubbish. Look at this, nearly half built already. So I'll do it actually because it's a pre-wired thing. Now I've just connected the jack plug to the wiring. Then this is effectively wired up. Apart from on the back plate. Screw that on there. As I say, I'm not using any posh tools. Just see on the table at the moment. That's another one. Now because they're pre-drilled holes, you don't really have to put any physical pressure down while you're screwing them in. They just go in very nicely. And another one. Last one on pickguard. Cramp in hand. That's that. That's your pickguard on. There. Wire out your back. Chuck the bridge on next. It's a very thin bridge. It's a good bridge, it looks alright. Now these will take a little bit more screwing down because the screws are quite a bit longer. I could open these things. Oop, there you go. Oh, we've also got the Allen key in there for the bridge. Little tiny Allen key. Very tiny. Whoop. Now I have got my straight edge stroke leveler. I've got it out to see how bad it is, but I'll wait until it's on. Now these you don't screw right to the ground because the front edge is lipped, so if you did, it should stick up like that, and you don't want that. You want that to make it rock nicely. As you can see, even these screw in quite easily. So that's probably enough. swapping hands because I'm suffering with my hands at the moment, which is why I don't like playing for people. Oh, there's no set order for putting the screws in for the bridge, you just put them in. But yet again, don't over tighten any of them. You just want to be just touching so as not to pull the saddle up. There you go. My hands are suffering. Just a little touch. Oh, little touch too far. Two more. In here now. I'll just take my jumper off. Oh, I'm taking jumper off. Put glasses are back on, otherwise you can't see a thing. I was hoping to try and work out a way getting camera up so you were more looking down, but I'm very limited at the moment because we're still in construction here, so it's not quite right yet. One of them slightly too tight, and I think it's that one I've just done. Right, that's that. It's your bridge on and it's not too tight, so it's still got plenty of movement. Put your claw on, and you can do this more or less in whatever order you want to do it in. You don't have to do it in my order. I'm just doing it just because this seems one way to do it. The kit doesn't come with instructions. Now, I've built many kits before. I'm mainly a kit builder because I don't have a lot of the special tools for custom building a guitar from scratch. So I do build quite a few kits. So what I'm saying here is, if you've got a suggestion for me, or you want to see a kit or a kit build, a specific one, if you let me know in the comments, and I can do something about that. This is where you can do with good fingers, not bad fingers, right? Because I'm doing this no solder, I've looped the wire underneath there, underneath that lip, and all I'm going to do now is press down with that to trap that wire. That wire's trapped, so now it's earthed. I'll feed that back, hopefully, yeah, into the back of there, so it's out of sight. It's also out of the way. Put that down and feed it. There you go. A little bit neater. So all I did was push it underneath the loop and push that loop down with the screwdriver. No special tools. Again. So we have 3 springs. Now as a rule, I only use 2. Whether you want to use 3 is another matter. Oh, first one. Oh no. First one on. Now I shake my hands because that's unfortunately part of what's wrong with my hands. That's it, 2 springs. I've put them in, not straight, I put them in at an angle which just gives it a little bit of pull. So it's hopefully when I've done, it should be lifted a fraction off the body, not like mine was. But that's what I've left the back off, because we can adjust the screws once we're in tune with strings on. We can sort that out. Don't forget the strap stocks. I normally fit my own type, but because this has come with kit, I'm chucking these on as well. Use the right screwdriver. One on each end. Don't forget to put the little piece of rubber underneath. It stops it from damaging the finish. One. Rubber disc. I'm just thinking to myself, I'm hoping this is filming now. That one on at each end, did it? So now you've got somewhere for your strap to go. Right, neck onto body, which is interesting because it fits like crap. That's the only downside I've found with this kit up to now, the poor fitting of that. Right, these kits come with plastic plate underneath. It's up to you, I never fit it. Lift it up, put your plate on, put a screw in, second screw, third screw, fourth. By now you should be working out that this is really easy to put together because of how quick I've done it with just screwdrivers essentially. Now, when you're tightening these up, it's not like trying to break your neck tight. It's on and it's a bit of a turn once it grabs just to bite in there. Go too far, you'll strip wood out of the bag, and you don't want rid of that. There you go, one neck on body with a. Now I'm just gonna. Whoops, not done it well to good. I was concerned that that didn't fit very well, but I've tightened that up. That is seamless to there. There is a gap here which I don't like, but the neck isn't moving about, so yeah, I'm happier with that now, because a lot of times if there's too much movement you can move them, which throws all your lines out and everything. Right, boring bit, strings that come with them. We're all tangled up before we even start. Now let's check your eye out with them. Of course now you have to look at them to try and work out which string's which, because they are nasty kinking, i.e. I don't tend to put them in any particular order, just as long as they're in. One string, and a string tree, on the nut, it's not cut very well. The E, it's just popped off again. Where's that gone? That's interesting. cheap string winder. Turn it right where. I'm not judged that very well for doing that, but never mind. So just with one string on, the bridge saddles are way too low, they're actually touching. So that you'll need your Allen key to adjust that. Now I'm only just looking at this just to get an idea of how, put it right around, how bad it is. Now the neck is bowed back. It is quite a way bowed back. Now, surprisingly, I've no Allen key for that. I've no truss rod key. I have an Allen key for the bridge. There's no truss rod Allen key. Bad sign, that one. Assuming your kit comes with an Allen key. Hold on. Could be wrong size. Wrong size. Looks more like it. Yeah. So, I'm guessing it's supposed to have an Allen key with it, but it didn't. Well, that's a down mark. Now, I'm going to have to take some tension off this, because otherwise it's just not going to play. We're high in the middle. I just twisted that wrong way. Turns very easily. Now, I know I've got a special tool here, which is a bit annoying because I was hoping it were going to be a bit straighter than this, but I didn't want to go in his hole. Slightly too far there, so that's a straighter neck. Still too low. The bridge is still too low on that. See why when you're getting these kits that they can't actually supply a packaged set of strings. They're cheap enough. Oh, I'm winding the wrong way again. This is because I'm winding upside down effectively. pitch saddle is way too low as well. And this string feels like it's very thick. I don't know what gauge strings these are supposed to be. This one seems more like thicker than should be. Could be wrong. Okay, just go that way. Inside of these with your cheap tool, because that is supposed to be a pair of cutters. Look at that, they work great. Right. Nearly there. Too sure how long and boring this video would end up being. Probably very boring. I do apologise, but I've never seen anybody do a kit build without editing. I think for the sake of editing, going backwards again. You're hearing that buzz. That buzz is because the bridge is too low. Nip that off. Those two strings. Now we won't be able to put the back plate on until we've tuned it up to see where the bridge is, because it's a trem, it bends. Yep. That's the first one that doesn't rattle. Right, so basically we have a guitar. We have a guitar that the drum don't want to screw on. There we go. Key to raise that bridge. Now, because I'm not using special tools, I'm not judging the height. I won't be doing the inclination today because to be honest, it's all coming to bits. My cork tuner. Anybody who knows me knows I only work wirelessly. Turn all your pots up so they can tune. Now this is interesting because I've got no output. Got to raise this bridge up. Now I'm just doing this very rough. Very rough. Normally I would check for, well, that's very loose, but normally I would check for get the proper radius sorted so the bridge is at the correct radius, and this is quite clearly not going to be the correct radius. Just to stop it from buzzing, or in this case catching. Say, even though I'm just wanging this up, it's going to have low action. North side is actually very low. Very low. I have to pull them up a bit more. If you have too low, way too low action, like this seems to be set up as, or put together as, and you'll just buzz all the time. You'll never get out of it. It'll always buzz. If you have too high an action, it'll hurt your fingers trying to play it. Sounds terrible. Alright. Oh, it's not working because I put them in wrong way around. That shows it's live. Yeah. Although we don't seem to be much better. Ah, here we go. Let's detune these top two. It's always an idea to stretch your strings. Snap before you get it in tune. Now tuning it up's pulled the bridge up, which now means we need to tighten these up. So take a bit of stress back off the strings, otherwise they'll go pop. This is your adjustment bit to bring your trem down because it's too high. We should try it at that. So then retune again. Awful. That still pulling up a little bit. Just wants a little tweak more. And a half a turn on both. Should about get it. So it's flattish, almost flat. If you haven't noticed, I'm not even using a neck stand. Now, you could get a towel or something just to pad your back of your neck. Because I'm going on what you'd have at home. Neck stand. Retune again, because we've just adjusted the back. Oop. No doubt I'll get some comments on this. Hey-ho. Wherever you're detuning and retuning, it does help towards stretching your strings a bit. And yeah, I use a tuner. That should be about right. Right. Let's see how bad it sounds. It's now plugged into my amp over there. I don't know what volume it's at. I'll give it a pick. There we go. That's on distortion. That's unclean. That's a Katana Mark 1 head on a Marshall 4x12. You need more volume. I don't want to put it up too loud because we don't want to blow in place Okay, first pickup, not set to a high, or any height should I say, so we adjust that slightly. Pickup height, personally, I think it's personal to the person. I don't have it too close because, I don't want to catch it whilst, or strings to catch while bending or doing stuff. I keep doing that, don't I? Which bet only cost 89 quid. Right. Yeah, they're not right, they're not perfect. The action is incredibly low, even though I raised up the bridge to make that go. It is incredibly low. The note is quite good. It's very pacey. Just lowering that pick up there a little bit because it seems a bit too. That rasp that you heard is the strings are still not high enough. It needs to be, the bridge needs to be higher. Yep. The saddles are still too low, they're muting out. Catching on frets. Yeah. So anyway, put together from start to finish, apart from putting back place on. Surprisingly, I think it's actually not bad. With a little bit of adjustments. Oh, sorry. Neck pickup. Bridge pickup. Sorry, not bridge. Middle pickup. Wow, buzz on strings still. And this is the bridge pickup. Sounds terrible. Needs setting up with the bridge, but to be honest, I think it's not a bad guitar. I think with a little bit of probably chopping down a couple of these high frets, I've not done a fret rock on it or anything, I think it'll be actually a good guitar. I think it could be made into a good guitar, complete with all the dust from my workshop. So there you go, together in however long this is videos took. To me, not very long. Thank you for watching. I hope I didn't bore you too much. I hope you might have learned something. Next thing I'll be doing is ripping this thing to bits to do alterations. I'm gonna do a scallop frets, or thinking of scalloping the frets, complete different pickups, cheap Temu ones, so that's a good learn. New bridge, new tuners, new string trees, and then we'll should have something that's really usable. I have noticed one thing just now. It would seem that the nut is a little bit too far this way, because the E is the high E is quite a way onto the fretboard, so I would say it's probably needed slightly better spacing on the bottom. There you go. Done. Thank you for watching. If you actually got anything out of this video, like, otherwise leave a comment. Thank you. Goodbye.